Hi, Connor Gunn here from Lethbridge News Now. Welcome to the weekly from LNN, where we go over some of the biggest stories from this past week and what you can look forward to this weekend. Asif Mir has been found guilty of smuggling 50 kilograms of meth across the Coutts border. He was arrested by CBSA officers in July of 2019, and the judge ultimately ruled that Mir knew the drugs were in his truck. The judge said that there were significant gaps in Mir's memory and that he, quote, appeared to be evading questions. Sentencing for Mir is scheduled for later this month. The Blood Tribe is taking the provincial government to court over last year's removal of the coal policy. This opens up parts of the Rocky Mountains in Alberta to open-pit coal mining, something that the First Nation believes will negatively impact the land, waters, and animals in the Crow's Nest Pass and throughout southern Alberta. They say it'll be, quote, an environmental disaster that cannot be undone. The court challenge launched by both Blood Tribe and the Siksika Nation is expected to be heard sometime later this year. A man guilty of child luring, publishing child pornography, and theft under $5,000 has been sentenced. 28-year-old Darcy Heitman of Lethbridge will spend 3 years behind bars as he was arrested in December 2019 by Alert, who said he engaged in sexually explicit conversations with children and convinced them into sending him nude photos. Heitman will give a DNA sample and has several conditions preventing him from having contact with minors. Canada has dropped to 33rd in the world for COVID-19 vaccinations. Just on Tuesday, Canada ranked 29th. One day later, Canada dropped 4 spots for the vaccine doses administered with a percentage of 2.6%. At the top of the list is Israel at 58.8%, and Premier Jason Kenney says this is devastating for Canadians, seeing other countries around the world getting larger shipments of vaccines. After a long technical outage for EMS dispatch services on January 26th, mayors across the province are calling for an inquiry into what went wrong. The outage was for over an hour, and AHS apparently did not notify local officials. Lethbridge Mayor Chris Spearman says he wants the province to take action, saying there has been no accountability at the provincial level. AHS responded, saying these delay claims are false and the outage is currently under review. Proud Boys and other extreme right-wing groups were among 13 groups that were added to Canada's terror list. 4 right-wing groups are among the 13 additions to the list, which include 3 groups linked to Al-Qaeda, 4 associated with the Islamic State of Iraq and Levant, and 1 Kashmiri organization. The government noted they want to take concrete steps to counter hate and violence, but stressed the terror list is deeply problematic and undermines basic principles of justice. Earlier this week, I was able to check out Lethbridge's own Charmed Playhouses and their newest project in the Crow's Nest Pass. Let's take a look. Lethbridge-based company Charmed Playhouses have exploded onto the extravagant playhouse scene. After their startup 6 years ago, president and founder Tyson Levitt and his wife Audie have taken Charmed to appear on shows like Dragon's Den. They've also had their own show called Playhouse Masters, where they've built houses for celebrities like NBA player Stephen Curry and singer-songwriter Kevin Jonas. Their latest in the long line of projects is a glamorous camping resort getaway in the Crow's Nest Pass, which Levitt says will be much more than just a playhouse.
We're launching our Charmed Resorts, which is camping or glamping our style. We're taking it to the next level where instead of sleeping in a tent or an old cabin, we're bringing the most fanciful buildings that you can imagine.
This bookable, COVID-friendly resort was created during the course of the pandemic, and Levitt said the idea sparked because people couldn't travel abroad for a getaway, so why not make one right here in nature's backyard?
Right now, locally, nobody can really travel, so we're creating a local destination, and it's imaginative. People can be able to go experience something new as a family. So it's a tourist attraction for Alberta first, and then when COVID goes away, we're going to open it up to the world.
The already opened Midsummer Cottage features inside plumbing, heating, an outdoor hot tub, and basically anything you need for a glamorous camping experience. Rapunzel's Cottage is the most recent resort that will be sent to the Rockies, where visitors will be able to book their stay soon. For Lethbridge News Now, I'm Connor Gunn. For more details on how to book with Charmed, check out the story on our website at lethbridgenewsnow.com. Coming up on Monday, some COVID restrictions will be lifted in Alberta. These will allow some in-person dining at restaurants, one-on-one gym appointments, and limited children's activities. Unfortunately, that's all the provincial government has explained. Also next week on Thursday, Lethbridge City Council will see a proposal of 3 options to extend the mask bylaw. One would be cancel the temporary face mask bylaw, one to extend it to December 31st, and the other to extend it to the end of December with additional resources for enforcement personnel. Those are just a few of the stories we've been covering this week. To stay up to date on the latest local and regional news, head over to lethbridgenewsnow.com or find us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, and on our Lethbridge News Now app. If you have any stories you'd like us to follow, send us a message. And thanks for watching, and tune in next Friday for another edition of The Weekly with me, Connor Gunn. Have a great weekend.